All right, what's good, fam? Jason Perez with theinsuranceschool.com. And what I'm about to do, I'm about to give you geniuses a roadmap. Why? Because my mama said that even a genius without a roadmap gets lost. And I'm responsible for you guys. I don't want you to get lost, all right? So what I want you to do is let's go over to myfloridacfo.com. Look at that. We're in like section number 2, and I already sent you to the CFO website 2 times. Why? Because this website is actually home to the Department of Financial Services. So, who is this Department of Financial Services? Well, let's get to the CFO first, because Jimmy Patronis is the Chief Financial Officer. That means, aside from DeSantis, Florida man, so aside from DeSantis, who is the highest elected official in the state of Florida, Jimmy Patronis is the highest elected official in charge of the business of insurance. Why would the financial officer be in charge of the business of insurance? Well, because insurance is a way for you to minimize your exposure to risk for things like death, accidents, illnesses, things like that. Where's the fraud come in? Why would people commit insurance fraud? Well, for the money. The financial officer is responsible for basically keeping everything that has to do with banks, lenders, insurers, and everything like that running smooth, because if he doesn't, we're going to lose confidence in the industry. What happens if we all start stuffing our money under a mattress because we don't trust banks and insurers? Dude, chaos, I'm telling you, right? So everything we're going to do is going to go through this Department of Financial Services website that belongs to the Chief Financial Officer, My Florida CFO. Now in here, up here at the top, you see where it says Division and Offices? Let's click that real quick. All right, now when that drops down, you see all those divisions? Yo, this guy is in charge of everything, people. 13 divisions are included underneath the Department of Financial Services. They did that to streamline everything for the state of Florida, right? The Division of Customer Service is actually here. A lot of you guys didn't know we had a customer service department. It's actually pretty good. We're going to talk about the customer service department a little bit later, but in here, just remember, and I'm going to touch on this, we have so much time together, and I want to make sure that you're getting these concepts, and it's really, by the time we're done, it's going to be like one of those My Pillow commercials. You're going to hear it so many freaking times. You're going to be like, Jay, throwing stuff at the computer. Probably not, because these things are expensive, right? Like, I'd be sitting there playing the game sometimes, like, no, pretending that I'm hitting something, but I'm really not. Anyway, let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one down, insurance agents and agency services. Click on that. Okay, this is designed for us, guys. Let's go ahead and scroll down just a little bit. You see where it says licensing? Click that, so learn more. All right, now here, licensing information. I just want to point out, we're going to go to agent and adjusters, but you see that agencies and firms? Once you have your insurance license, you don't need another license to start an agency. Everything that we're going to teach you is the foundation for everything you could want to accomplish in the business of insurance, right? So just remember that. There's no next level kind of hoops you have to jump in. At no time do you have to work with somebody else, another agency and insurer. Once we're done here and you're licensed and you're authorized by the state of Florida, you have the right to be independent. We're going to talk all about that, okay? But for right now, we want to become an insurance agent. We can't be an agency until we're an agent, right? So let's go ahead and click that first one there, agents and adjusters. Now, what an adjuster is the person that comes out like, just think about after a storm. Somebody comes out to the house to assess the damage to the house. A lot of times that person is going to have an insurance license because they understand how to communicate with the insurer, okay? So that's what an adjuster is. It's the person that's identifying the damage that is going to be part of a claim. That's not what you're going to do here. So here on this next page, agent and adjusters licensing requirements, go ahead and click on that, view license requirements. All right, now Scroll down there just a little bit and you see that headline there underneath those blue boxes. That headline there says agents. Well, that first one, property and casualty, that would be the person that insures your house, your car, your boats and planes and all those other crazy things. That's not us. We're gonna insure your life, your death, your disabilities, things along that. So let's click health and life insurance, including annuities and variable contracts. Now here, you'll see it pops up, and what it does is it's giving you, it's identifying what the license types are. That first one, debt collection, forget about that. We don't need that. You have health. You have life, health and life, including variable. You can combine those. That course right there, that one right in the middle, the 215, that's a 60-hour course. The one right above it, 240, which is health only, that's a 40-hour course. Below it, get rid of that NA, you see life and annuities. That's also a 40-hour course. So what you have to think about in here is like, what's the difference in those two? Oh, I know that you're adding health to it, but really the way it breaks down is that the health portion of the course is 20 hours. The life and annuity portion of the course is another 20 hours, and the laws are another 20 hours, okay? And so if you combine those, it's only a 60-hour course. If you do one category of insurance on your own first, like if you wanted to be a life agent, then it's only 40 hours. You want to be a health agent, it's only 40 hours, okay? You want to do your licenses separate, it will take you 80 hours to do it, but I'm actually a real big fan of doing it that way because if you're not comfortable taking tests, it's a lot easier to compartmentalize the vocabulary. And so let's actually dive into this because that's what I really want to show you is the vocab. So right here, let's go ahead and click on towards the bottom, 214, life insurance. All right, so what you're going to get here is this is a doc that comes directly from the Department of Financial Services. You're going to want to bookmark this, but I'm going to send you over the link. David, do me a favor. Just make sure everybody has that link, okay? Like send them out, not just the Kaplan overview, the Pearson VUE overview, but send them out the link to this Department of Financial Services doc, all right? So let's scroll down a little bit because we're going to jump around because I want to talk about content. So let's go to step 2. And right here under step 2 where you see notes, go study materials, study manuals, sorry, right there. All right, now here on, on this side of the page right here, examination content outline, go ahead and click on that. Oops. All right. Hopefully that's up for you. 51 pages. What? No, don't worry about it. We don't need that. This is the outline for all the courses in the state of Florida, okay? So, when you come down to page 2, you see whose name is up there? Jimmy Petronas, Chief Financial Officer. This, guys, please, this guy is up here. This is the apex predator of the insurance industry, okay? Even his investigators are licensed to pack heat. They're sworn law enforcement officers. We're going to get all into them, all right? I'm over here. I'm about to make insurance licensing easy for you. Why? Because this is an open book test in essence. If I'm going to go ahead and I can literally give you every single vocab word with a story associated with it and able to tie them into bigger concepts. Dude, you guys are going to kill it, right? Vocab is easy. Well, look at this. This right here is everything that's going to be on the test. We're over here talking about these super big, thick, 607-page books. But the truth is that we're only looking at definitions here. This first section, types of policies and features. Okay, we're right here. Types of policies and features. That says 14%. Well, if we're taking the life insurance course, 14% breaks down to 5.6 hours. I get the 10-minute break just like you guys do. But, woo! Sometimes it gets a little rough. Towards the end of the day, I sound like this. Sounds like I've been smoking Marlboros all day. But anyway, so in here, when they're talking about traditional whole life products, guys, it's so easy to think that they're going to crack open a book and expect you to understand whole life, blah, blah, blah. And like, at no time does any part of this class expect you to understand how to sell the product. My job is to identify first, right? So where we are right now in the course, I'm identifying the dots. Like, I mean, come on. If you opened up a book and it was completely blank, like this, and there was no dots on the page, you'd be responsible for drawing your own conclusions, right? I don't want you to do that. This right here, the state of Florida did it for you. So, under Section A, well, whole life, I'll tell you something real quick about whole life insurance. It has a cash value, and what that means is that every time you make a premium payment, premium is how much you pay for the insurance, every time you make one of those payments, a portion of that payment actually goes to a savings element, and a portion of it goes to the death benefit, which is considered an insurance element. This step one here, the traditional, ordinary, you see those words they're using, traditional and ordinary? I'm sorry, but if I was trying to sell you a car, am I doing a good job with, oh, it's traditionally a pretty ordinary car. Yo, are you looking for sexy? I like bringing sexy back. What? That would be under Part B, where it's interest, market sensitive, adjustable life products. That's where we leave the basic traditional ones that don't give you anything but a cash value and a death benefit. In this other section, Part B, that's where we start talking about the products that would rival those commercials like you see here at Fisher Investments. We're a fiduciary. Let me just tell you, we're all fiduciaries. You know what that means? It means that we have the best interests of our client in mind. If you were my client and you told me what you needed, wouldn't you think that my reply to you would be focused on you? That's a fiduciary responsibility. Another fiduciary responsibility would be like a caretaker for a kid. Yo, don't let these people come in there and start, highbrow. Oh, I'm an advisor. Guys, this is insurance. It's not you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't put risk management in place, you're going to spend it. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, and insurance allows you to keep it. Okay? So in this section right here where we talk about the interest sensitive, that's when it kind of gets a little bit interesting. I can see where it gets intimidating because we have to talk about indexes, which are tied to the stock market. And all of a sudden everybody goes, no, I'm melting. Man, you ain't melting. You know you're not melting. You just didn't have anybody explain it to you, right? So in this section over here, universal. Can we please draw a couple of conclusions? Because one test question is going to be, which one of these policies allows the client more flexibility? Do you think it's going to be the traditional, the ordinary, the basic whole life policy, or the universal policy? It's almost like the genie in Aladdin is like, all the power in the universe. Well, that's what Universal sounds like, right? That's what I think. When I think of Universal Studios, I don't think of like me in my office shooting this off of an iPhone 13. It's like the opposite of Universal. And so that's what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to be able to show you that, like in economic downturns like we might be going into right now, some of these products that are designed to have a cash value, which meant that some of your premium went towards the collection of a cash value while others went, these are the products that help you get aggressive with earnings. These are the products here that rival 401ks and IRAs. And I'm not talking about the traditional ones because I just threw shade on traditional whole life policies, right? Well, I'm probably going to throw shade on traditional IRAs and 401ks. But this next section there, that interest sensitive stuff, that's where you start battling like those Roth IRAs. And it's like right now you're like, Jay, what are you talking about? I know, right? Thank God we have 5.6 hours to discuss it. As of right now, I'm at exactly 15 minutes. What did you expect to learn? Player, remember what I told you? Right now we just have a blank piece of paper. I'm putting dots on every one of these are little dots. By the time we're done, a whole picture. You're just going to connect the dots all the way around, all right? Now, I'm not going to talk any more about these because we're going to go into this, but I want to scroll down a little bit because that first section up there, section 1, section 2 here is all about how to enhance those policies, right? So in this section here, they're saying it's worth 21%. 5.6 hours was dedicated towards just identifying the policies we're going to discuss. Another 8.4 hours goes into you and I talking about when these policies should be recommended, who they're for, how they benefit you, and all those things. So this roadmap here is super important. If you're taking just the health course, I believe the health course would be a little further down here. Here we go. So Agent Health course starts on page 5 over here. Same thing. Types of policies, 16%. So it's really nice because, guys, let's wrap this roadmap section up with identifying how the tools help you, okay? So in this, I'm going to go back up here to the life section where we were at. Whenever I start a class segment, everything that we discuss has been identified by the state of Florida, okay? If you're following along in the book, that's everything that's in the very front of the book. It gives you the outline. I don't want us to spend a moment talking about something that doesn't matter. When we go into the book in this section, I believe it's chapter 5 in the Kaplan manual. You know, we go in there and there's like 4 pages on things like endowment policies and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what an endowment policy is. Why? Because I don't sell them and we don't have to teach them. What do you mean I don't got to teach them, Jay? Because it's not in the outline. The state doesn't care. And if the state doesn't care, I promise you will not spend 1 second, not 1 second, studying something that will not show up on the test. Not one. Okay? So in here, we're going to be able to grab that highlighter and every segment just cross something out, cross something out. When we get to the end of our segment on the course, that's not 40 hours, guys. We're probably going to reach the end of the class within like right around that 23 to 25 hour mark. And that's great because when we're not going to go into a midterm, we're going to go into a practice final. And for the last 20% of this course, what are we going to do? We're going to be reviewing. We're going to go over the same topic in a different way. We're going to use different analogies. You guys, as you go through, even if you're not on the live segment, we're still in sync. We have over 80 hours. I personally host over 80 hours of classroom time a week. A month. So if you come through and let's just say you're like, Jason, I had a problem with a comparison between ordinary whole life and universal whole life, or between universal, whole life and interest sensitive. You were intimidated by all these little fancy words. No problem, guys. This segment right here, if you're catching us live and you're in class now, obviously, like we told you, doesn't have all the special effects, the words, but I'm still on track with the iFlash for you. So if you're in there, you should be in iFlash for you, the roadmap, and it's going to go through and it's going to be able to bullet point all the places you should go. It's the step-by-step. Every segment of the course has something to help you in the step-by-step, all right?